All right, thank you everyone for joining us today. We are actually in week 7 of our mastermind, going over GoPro, and we are going to hear from Valerie today, and she is going to talk about onboarding, including a new member checklist, and going over how to get them started right, and the importance of tools in that process. And we've already heard from her before. She comes from a really strong team with really good processes and really good tools. So we are looking forward to hearing from her. And at the end, we're going to talk about a little bit of housekeeping stuff. So I'll turn it over to Valerie.
Thank you. And even though I have a really awesome oily family, like literally that's what it's called. When you see those great graphics and stuff, those are, that's my upline. I'm really blessed and really thankful to have that. We are actually handed a Google Drive. We don't have to pay for anything. We're really lucky in that way. So so not everybody has that Google Drive. So we sorry, I'm just distracted by I can hear stuff on the other side. I'm not going to talk about my Google Drive, obviously, because not everybody has access to that. So some of my team members are on this call do, so good for them. But I'm gonna show you some stuff in the virtual office too, which I think I'll do. Yeah, I can do a screen share. Okay, so we're talking about getting new members set up. I'm just kind of like, we'll touch on, I think one of the mistakes I made first and foremost was not expecting people to want to do the business, because I didn't really. I mean, raise your hand. Did anybody coming to this like, I want to do the business? Tashina's like kind of maybe like, yeah, like, I mean, I wasn't. I'm trying to be better about that. So keep that in mind. When we talk, or when anybody takes a topic like this, we're all working on these things too. I know, like Stacy and Rebecca and I and Tashina, we've talked about that for 6 better months now, that we're still learning these things. So I like doing these because it helps me to remember to do these things. So our idea though, with these new members, and I'm just going to say member, but it could be that they're gonna look at the business too. So I'm not going to like differentiate between a builder and a member. I'm just going to say member. Okay. But we want these people to become independent from us as quickly as possible. And that's like a separate, probably personality thing, but it's true. We do want them to be able to do this on their own. So let me show you, because you do not have access to my Google Drive that I do with oily families, and I can't share that with you. I'm going to share the virtual office with you. So this, what I try to do is, obviously this is my virtual office, so don't mind my numbers and whatnot, but what I try to do is, if I can, I walk people through the process, either right in front, probably not happen as much right now, or I try to talk to them over the phone about it. So after they get all set up, it comes up with the summary screen, like congratulations, or order confirmation, that kind of thing. And I say, okay, I take them right back here to this page. This is what it looks like when you log in. This is the summary page. This is where you're going to see this stuff. And Young Living did this for us. Okay. There's a tab called Getting Started. Crazy, huh? They make this so easy for us. Like the oil names, like it's called Stress Away. What's it do? Stress away. They make this easy for us. And some of the girls can laugh with me. When I joined in 2014, it was not this good. Okay, so be so thankful. It's so good. So Getting Started, obviously I've already done this because that's me. That's my nature. But this is so neat. So show them this. Make sure that they see this. Welcome to Young Living Virtual Office. You should know the virtual office. You should take some time, whatever time you can budget for yourself. That's a separate topic of time management, but find some time to get good at the virtual office because there's so much good stuff in here. If you have questions, you know, reach out, but there's so much already right here. So this is for everybody, regardless of your oily family. So it tells them here in their first 7 days to connect with your upline. You need to connect with them, right? Like you're going to be talking to them too. And that's going to be something I'm going to show you in just a second. But under member resources, that's another great place. Someone's not muted again, but that's okay. I'm getting like really distracted by that. So in member resources, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that like for us to look over and for us to be able to share with people. So actually on this first landing page, you see down here the define your purpose. We did that already first week. New member call cheat sheet and new member checklist. Those are two things, and I'm going to bring them up hopefully on this other part too. But the other thing you want to show them, you can just point out that there's member resources. The reason I bring them to member resources though is so that they can see this link builder. And then they can know how to create their own link, and they can copy and paste it because you're going to, you know, everybody is going to want to know about these oils, right? And that's what we're going to tell them. This is how you can share this with people. So, and it's like a totally normal thing. It is, right? We all did it. Obviously, that's why we're here. Like we all shared with somebody. We couldn't shut up about it. So I'm gonna see. So here's the new member phone call cheat sheet. Like, you know, I know not everybody is a phone call person. So if you're not, that's okay. You can still kind of use some of these things, but consider that it's not about you and your comfort level. Like you might not be a phone person, but that person might be a phone person. And like, you're going to have to use this cheat sheet. You're going to have to swallow your pride and you're going to have to do something hard. You can also ask them about Zoom, obviously, text messaging, Marco Polo, Facebook videos, like in the Facebook Messenger, voice messages. Keep in mind, anytime that somebody can hear you, that's so important. You know, in our digital world, we lose so much to miscommunication and misinterpretation. It's not like our fault per se, but it is if we don't think in how someone's going to take this. If someone has a really bad day and they read your message and it was actually a really nice message, but they put a sarcastic twist on it or something, we don't know that. So if you can send them a voice message, if you can talk to them live, Marco Polo is great, WeChat, all sorts of different things. I know I've missed them. So whatever it is, you can find a way to connect with people. You can use this cheat sheet to know what you want to talk about or what you need to have on hand. You know, here's preparing for it, what you need during the call. You know, ask them these questions, just like getting to know them and talk to them. You know, get to know, you're going to be writing these things down too, like their wellness goals. Like that's going to be so important because you're going to be able to tag them in posts or share things with them. Like the Lavender Life blog, you can share that with them. Oh, look, I saw this. I totally thought about you. The other, oh, I accidentally stopped my share. Sorry. Where is it? Okay. I clicked on the wrong, it was right next to there. How do I get there? Okay. There it is. Okay. This is the other PDF. So if you like to print stuff, you can print it out as a PDF. You can save this and then edit it. But you know, you could print this out or have this on hand when you do that call. And what we like about this is, you know, these are straight from Young Living. So everybody has access to these and they're really neat. They help us like this, like they joined a Young Living family because, you know, why did they do this? You know, like me, it was for my emotional support. So that's really important to my leaders or my upline or my enroller, you know, to know that so that they can check in on me about that. Right. And this is really good. The preferred method of contact. email, text, phone call, that kind of stuff, right? Because WhatsApp, that's the one I forgot. I think that's the one Tashina knows all about. So, that's so important. We do have to meet them where they want to be, right? Where they're comfortable. So they might want to talk to you on the phone. They might just want to hear your voice. And you let them do the talking. Wellness priorities on this, product suggested that, when you thought about it and like for their first essential rewards order. And Young Living even has this part that, they're giving you a next step follow-up. So day 1, day 3, day 5, day 10. That's their suggestions. It's a good starting place if you don't really know, but they have all of this here. Virtual office training, these are the things that are in like the getting started section. Okay. And then schedule day 10, you schedule follow-ups for the next 30 days. Like their first 90 days is super important. This breaks it down for us, 1, 3, 5, 10, and the next 30. When members have an experience in their first 30, 60, 90 days, they are more likely to continue and to share and to not fall inactive ever, which is our goal, right? We don't want people to miss out on this. Personally, I feel so bad when people feel like they wasted money or like their kit is collecting dust or something. Like that just sounds so sad to me, and I mean, some people, it's hard to come up with that $165. So for them to feel like they lost money or they wasted it, and then they have a bad taste about Young Living, like all these bad things. So we do the best to have provide them with a good experience. That can be a good product experience. That could be a good, like they get a paycheck, anything like that. So that's what I mean by experience. It doesn't just have to be that they shared with somebody and they have like a business thing. I think that was the 2 things I wanted to share on there. So let me stop sharing. Let me figure this out. And of course, like I'm like on the spot, right? I can't do it. So, yeah, so we all have access to the virtual office, right? So we all, under member resources, that's where I found those PDFs. I have them like stuck up because I keep looking at them all the time. Beyond the virtual office though, check with your immediate enroller and sponsor about what your team resources are, what are available to you. That's going to be different for all of us. And if unfortunately, like I'm going to assume nobody on this call has this problem, but if unfortunately you don't have an immediate sponsor or enroller that's going to answer your questions and like doesn't take care of you the way that you would like to be taken care of, what you're going to do is in the virtual office, I should have showed you this part. So under my account, my profile, you'll find a section called leadership. Those people would love to hear from you. Okay, those are your like silver, gold, platinum, diamond, crown diamond, whatever, like though, and their email and their phone number are probably listed there. So those people got to where they are, like at those ranks, for a reason. So if those are ranks you aspire to be, those are the people you contact if your sponsor enroller is not doing it for you. Okay, and that's okay. We all have different learning styles, different personality types, it's okay if you reach out to other people. It's okay to have different resources. There are so many, but I highly recommend going to those places first before you shell out money. Okay, don't feel like you have to pay. Like, ooh, what's this? Oh, it's $20. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's $62. Oh, what's this? It's $120. Like, no, do not do any of those until you talk to somebody in your immediate family, like your oily family. Can you tell too? I was a sorority girl, so like you're big and your sister, like in your family. So you have these people that want to take care of you and see you succeed. They're going to give you awesome recommendations too. And some other ways to help your new members is to make sure that this is you too, you and your new members, when you help to enroll people, that you know about all the events that are going on, either Young Living events or your team events, your if you went to a class originally to get started, the next thing you do is go to the next class and bring a friend, right? Like that's the best way to do this. You don't have to know everything right now. It's actually totally cool that you don't know anything, like that's okay. We're all new and we're actually all still learning. So regardless, like it's been 5.5 years for me, at least 6 years in June. I don't know everything yet. Don't tell my husband. But I'm still learning about these things. So if you, that was the first thing that I did, was to go to a class, and then the next class I took a friend. I think I actually took a friend to the first class because I was scared to go alone. But, and that's what we do. So if you aren't comfortable teaching a class yet, know that your upline, your sponsor, your enroller, someone in your leadership line would love to have you there and does not mind when you bring other people. That's the whole purpose of this and the sharing of it, until you feel comfortable to do it on your own. You share your link with them though. You're going to get credit for them because your leader is not going to take that person from you because they don't know you, know that person. And that's not how this works. That's what's awesome about Young Living. You have that loyalty and that family. But just make sure they know that. Make sure that events are meant to be shared. I still get that question. So I'm doing something wrong because I still get that question when people are like, is it okay if I bring so-and-so, or is it okay if I come to that? I'm like, yes, oh my gosh, yes. Like if you see the event, you're invited. Like you're just invited. And mostly like, because I think Stacy asked me the one time, she's like, oh, I saw this, can I? I'm like, yes. And that was Team YL. Sometimes it's not that way. Crossline hit or miss, but for the most part, it's Team YL. It's everybody. We glean from everybody. But just remember not to spend money on everyone. Because I know everybody's budget is different, and don't think that you have to have an enormous budget to do this, because you don't, because I just gave you some free resources. So a few more free resources on Facebook, since I think most of us are on there. If not, there's some that aren't, like the Young Living blog. That's not Facebook, that's separate. That's Young Living's page. Their blog is awesome. So much good information, DIY stuff, if that's your jam, like just so much good information on there. So you can share that with people, send it to them. On Facebook though, there is just the Young Living Essential Oils Facebook page, just the straight one. There is Young Living Training and Education page, and that's what they do, training and education. Awesome. And then there is Young Living Leader Development. I think it's Leader Development. And then once you get, I believe there's even others for ranks. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I know that there's one for our silver groups. So I assume that there's one for like executive maybe. The Leader Development one though is just that. Like if you're a star or a distributor and you want to be star, like you go to that page and learn. And all the different Young Living social media stuff, like beyond Facebook, like the Instagram and everything. I don't even know what all of them are. There's a resource under member resources about that, about all the places that they share. So I didn't show you that one. One of the last things I would say is don't hesitate to share this. Even if it's that you share it as when you have experiences that help you, you're going to want to tell people about that. So here's your link. If it's as simple as that, is that then you show them, here is your link. You can give them your link, their link. And then you can also show them where you did that, because you are trying to replace yourself, right? You're trying to make them independent. So you can do it for them, and then you can show them how to do it. And you want to help them to enroll their first 3 people. So however that is, if it's that I teach a class for you, and then we teach a class together, and then I come and I support you, that's a really good kind of step up each time. And that helps their comfort level. Again, the first class that I taught, my friend actually came and taught a class for me, and I watched her, and while she was doing it, I was like, she's like, she's just like, these are my notes. She's just like, she was reading from notes. Like, she didn't have all the answers. And so I said, can I have those notes? And she said, yeah. And she showed me where to get them. So not everybody's going to ask that question. So you just show them, like for me, I tell my new enrollments, I tell them, like, here's our Google Drive. If and when you're ready, we have all kinds of classes. We have images and we have scripts, some not scripts, because we don't want everything to be exactly the same. I have some scripts that I would share with them because I've already done some of it. These are a couple outside resources, and then that's where I'll end. Because I think I paid for all these. So I did not pay for this, but this is an Oily Families PDF. I know that there's others out there like this, though. This says it's called a 10-day premium starter kit challenge. I know there's ones called Think Outside the Box. Like, it's like a 21-day challenge, because we have a version of that too. I love this. Like, day 6, want to know why Young Living Oilers drink lemon vitality in their water all the time? Try it. Put 1 drop in a glass of water, only glass, and drink to enjoy improved mental clarity and energy. So this makes it super easy. So I always put this in like a new member kit, a little welcome kit that I give them. I include this if they obviously start with the oils, because this is for the oils. I don't know that we have one for the other stuff. But it's day 1 through 10, and it just breaks it down. So there are like 21-day versions, which are like slower. That's a little speed up. I include this. These are probably like $1 a piece. Maybe not. I don't know. I forget. They're from oilsandharmony.com. I love this, though, because especially when you get somebody that signs up right away with Essential Rewards, this is the perfect thing. So it's a carbon copy. And it says, like, personal care, which products do you use, across the top, and then personal care, the first thing is toothpaste. Do you use toothpaste? Yeah. So they check that box, and when it comes over here, it says Thieves toothpaste. Well, look at that. We got something for that. Because one of the things that people say is that they can't spend $50 a month, right, on Essential Rewards. Like, I can't spend that much. And they think it's an addition to their budget. We have to help them to realize that it's not an addition, it's a transfer. You're just not going to go to Walmart for toothpaste anymore. Like, you're going to get it from Young Living, because you're going to get a discount on it. Do they send it back to me? This part, do they send back to me? I have not asked them to send this back to me. I just let them keep this for their own, like, personal reference, so that they know everything that Young Living has. And so that they can just, like, keep this in their, like, when they go to reorder and do those things. So it has personal care, skincare and beauty, vitamins and supplements, children, babies, pet care, lifestyle wellness, weight management, healthy cooking, and household. So it's Young Living has 600 products. You can find something to order every month. Like, that's always the funniest thing I hear from people. I'm like, oh, you don't know all about it. It's way more than essential oils. It's always funny because the company name is Young Living Essential Oils. So people think it's like, that's it. It's like, so much more. We already talked about, I'm prepared tonight, Tashina, the Essential Oils desk reference. Pocket reference. Desk reference is much bigger, but this is the pocket one. So it's like almost 500 pages. This is something I do for new members. Most of our Oily family does it. Definitely not a requirement, definitely not compliant. That's why it's fun, because it's not compliant. But I do this with anybody that gets started with any kit, really, because this lets them see everything that the essential oils are capable of. And it does list, like, when you look up an ailment, hair and scalp problems, it lists singles, blends, nutritionals, and hair care. So it does list other things. So, if you don't have an LSP, the Life Science Publishers preferred membership, Somebody in your upline does. So connect with them. Your immediate enroller and sponsor might. But you can get a discount. Like they're like $10 a piece when you buy like a little bit in bulk. So you can kind of go in together, or you can just buy them ahead because you're going to enroll all the people, right? So you're going to need them. Don't ever sell yourself short. Don't be like, can I just get 2? No, come on, get like 5 or 10. Come on, you can do it. Worst case, they come out with a new edition. They're still good. Like, but you can enroll 10 people, especially right now. Hello. Somebody enrolled 200 people. Not even gonna get, that's like she's like a YouTube blogger thing. So she like doesn't count almost. She's not us. I'm sorry if somebody is, because good for you. Not me. I'm not enrolling 200 people in a month. In 13 days, actually, I think it was like this month. So anyway, this book, this is on you. This obviously would come off the $50 that you would earn when they get a kit. But personally, I think it's such an awesome tool. It was gifted to me, and so that's why I'm so passionate about gifting it to my my new enrollments. I still use it every day. Like when people ask me questions, like, I don't know. Let's see. Did you look on page 360? I refer them to this, and I do. And I actually go through and tab these. I have a little list of page numbers that are like the most common things that people ask about. Of course, I'm not finding any when I just like am looking through here, but skin things or sleep or something like that, like emotions or PMS or menstrual things. Like I tab them for a lot of people because those are the most common questions. But consider this one. There are apps also. 3rd edition. That's awesome, Carrie, because actually that has some really good information that is like way not compliant. I know. I have the 1st and 2nd editions, like the big desk references. Okay, and then these are something I've been doing recently, which I really am liking. They're from Oil Revolution Designs. So like I said, these are things I pay for. So be careful. Like my budget is okay to do that. And I'm taking it away from that, like, that $50 that I earned. But they're a set of 3. That's why I like it. Like it says booklet 1, 2, 3. So I send like month 1, 2, 3. And so I hand this when they first get started. On the back, it says your member number, your login password, and your PIN number. If I was with someone, I would help them write that down, but I'm generally not so I do write their member number though, because how many of you knew your member number right away? Anybody? I know, yeah. No, oh, you did, Carrie. I only use that now. I actually forgot what my username was. I was like, oh, I have one of those, but I also just like numbers, so. But this one, it says a 3-month welcome program. There's a place inside to like write a note. Talks about, this is just a good starter thing. So you might have something already, another resource, but it says seed to seal, essential oils in the premium starter kit, safety tips, dilution suggestions, diffuser recipes. These are almost all pretty much based on the PSK. I see purification and I see eucalyptus globulus. You could sub radiata for this month. And then some roll-on recipes. So sometimes I've given like a roll-on bottle, something like this as part of a welcome pack. Nothing you have to do. And then vitality oils and DIY recipes, and then a note section for them. The next is the home kind of stuff, like the next steps to let them know that there's other products. So essential rewards, thieves, Ningxia Red, the supplements, the beauty stuff, personal care, and then their wish list and their ER orders. So these are kind of neat tools. And then the last booklet has the makeup. So it talks about sharing Young Living. So get paid to share your essential oils. More about sharing. Plan a class. So they can write down who they want to include. Savvy Minerals. Oh, they're gonna have to update that mascara right there. Seedlings, and then Kid Scent, personal care. The top 10 essential oils and blends to try next. I love when they do that because then we can get outside of that. And there's a ditch and switch in there too. So I kind of like double up, and I try to, it's just about keeping in touch with those people, right? So I don't really tell them it's coming. I just send it to them. And oftentimes I'll throw something in the package too. I think like month 2, I've sent like a sliver of the charcoal bar soap. So that, because that's something different, right? Letting them know that there's other things besides the oils, if that's how they start. If they start with Ningxia Red, you still can share like a bar soap with them, or a lotion, lavender hand and body lotion. So those are a couple things that I do. Bottom line, link arm in arm with your enroll and your sponsor, and take that time to, or think about what could have been done better when you got started and what would have helped you. Because some of us didn't have somebody that linked arm with us and helped us out. So I was fortunate. Like I said, my friend actually came and taught a class for me. I thought I was doing her a favor. I didn't even think about the business side of it. I just thought, oh yeah, come talk to these people. Like I'm loving these products. Like I want them to love them too. And this will help you. And then it helped me. Oh, funny. That's what's awesome about Young Living. So, yeah, I hope that helps some, you know, like I said, their first 90 days is super important. So, any experience that we can offer them is amazing for them, and it will keep them coming back and not falling inactive.
Awesome job. Yeah, I just want to reiterate, if you are on this call and you have not gone through all those resources in the virtual office, like make that your goal this week. So we have a virtual spa party coming up on Sunday, and someone, a Crossline person, DM'd me and she's like, so what do I need for it? And I sent her the list. And she's like, oh my God, that's a lot of stuff. And I was like, well, don't you have the art? And she's like, no, I don't. And I was like, well, just make your own, you know, moisturizer or cleanser if you only have the toner. She's like, how would I know how to do that? And I was like, look at the blog. And she was like, what blog? I was like, what? I was like, you are an active Young Living member? You don't look at the blog? Like, you can type almost anything. The search engine isn't that best, and it'll pull up some random stuff, but you'll get your question answered. Like, if you don't know the blog back and forth, you can answer most questions like, what oils can I not use if I'm pregnant? Or where do I find a recipe for only essential oil moisturizer? That is all in the blog. And so you go through that and make sure everyone that you've signed up knows about all those resources as well. That's the first place to start. Anyone have any questions or want to add anything else?
I have a question. When you were going over the form in the virtual office where it said day 10, schedule the next 30 days, is that your note as the builder where you're putting that out? Like, you're not scheduling that with the people, right? With your new people.
The checklist, no, you're kind of just making the notes because it asks, how's it going? What are they loving? How are they feeling? Send product samples, send a video, send a blog article, introduce business building. So yeah, that's not like necessarily with them, although you could schedule on the business building thing, like with them, say like, you know, in a couple weeks from now, let's chat and set up a time.
So would you put it like in your personal planner? Is that what you're thinking? Like, you're going to take that down and be like that, you're just putting their name down to follow up with them, kind of thing.
Right.
Right. And when you send out a welcome pack, are you putting the pocket reference in there with that first Thrive book and those in the form, all the form, the challenge, everything? So they're getting quite a bit for the first one.
Yep. Yeah. I've done, the first Thrive book is pretty basic. So I don't feel like it's like too much. The carbon copy paper is mostly like if they've enrolled on Essential Rewards, because I forget or I send it like in month 2, but like mostly it's, if I wasn't right with them to give them a book, then I'm sending it, I'm giving it to them with month 1 with that first Thrive book. Yeah. But I do the pocket references with everybody as quick as I possibly can. Like if I'm with them, I hand it to them. But if I also kind of like to send it because I do all those little tabs on it too. But that's just me personally. I can't say that it's been perfect. Like I think it's definitely been helpful just because I threw everything down. There's just so much in here. Like one member in particular that I can think of, I did not do this for her, but she did the raindrop stuff all on her own. Like she does a raindrop for her husband all the time. Like she told me, I was like, you what? Oh my gosh, like we hadn't even talked about that. But it's in her book, and I know she got the book and that's what she based it on. So I just love this book.
I used to send them out and then I stopped, and I think I'm going to start doing that again. But I find that if I don't have a system, like you have that book 1, 2, and 3, if I don't have that set thing, I get all discombobulated with what I'm sending who.
Yep.
So
oh yeah,
I like
me too.
that.
Me too. That's why I started doing it. I mean, this is like, those 3 things are a recent thing. Like in the past year, it was like a year ago, I think, when I started. I got them because I gifted. I usually do a little team retreat every year, and I gave each of those people that attended last year a set of 3 so that they could see them and that they could gift them if they wanted to, but so that they could see them and then maybe they would want them. Because when you order them, you get all 3. You get enough for 5 people. Like I am very frugal with this stuff. Like I told you, don't go spend money. I told you, do not go spend money. And then I told you how to spend money. So please heed that, as I'm very careful about what I spend money on in regards to this business. That's one of the downsides of direct sales and network marketing, multi-level marketing, is that's why they call it a pyramid scheme and they give it a bad name, because like the amount of money we make when we take away our expenses and stuff, it's like, so don't do that to yourself. Don't expense too much so that you aren't earning any money. Like be careful on how you do that. That's not, I would never want to tell somebody that. Do what is in your budget. You can find plenty of free things. Like I said, that's why I showed you the virtual office first and foremost. There's plenty there, and there's free stuff, like just online. I mean, I know obviously I see people post Oily Family graphics, and I know they're not part of Oily Family, and that's okay. They came across them, and like I think they have a little tag on it that says "Do not alter," in which they just mean like they're so pretty. Like don't put stuff on top of them to make them yucky. But I mean, and that's on whoever does it anyway. So yeah, I hope that doesn't come off that way. Don't do things that are outside of your budget. Do things that I just gave you some ideas, and I'm still working on it too, Rebecca. So don't feel like you're alone in that.
I have a question for you. Was somebody else going? Do you want to talk?
Oh, well, I was just going to say,
You're a bit low. I can't hear you.
Yeah. So I just have a question about the app with the Essential Oil Desk Reference app that you get through Life Science Publishing. And Young Living has said that's the app that we should be telling people about, but every time I go to get it, it says you have to be a preferred member, and that's $100. So for a new person, I don't recommend it, because they're not going to spend $100 to get into Life Science Publishing for this $7 app. Am I wrong on that? Is there a different place to get it?
If you're a member, you can gift it to people for $7.
But I'm not. So I really can't, they can't get that app unless one of the leaders are.
Right. I'm sure there is somebody like in your upline that is, and then, you know, you could just send them the money to cover the person, or the person could do it themselves if they wanted to. Again, it's totally not a necessity. I mean, there's a lot in the, I mean, personally, I don't like the app over the actual book, but I know there's plenty of people that are like really just want the app. They want it on their phone. And I had one person I gave it to because she physically, like, because of her hands, she can't turn the pages. So she like had to have something on her phone. That was how she could access it. But yeah, you can gift it to someone. So you just have to find somebody, like I said, you could check in your like leadership section there, like your silver or somebody right around there, like should be a member, or can connect you with somebody that is, and you know, you can go from there. But again, you don't have to. Okay, Mary said, I was just going to say that I do pretty much just the essential oil pocket reference and a short note to new members because of budgeting. Yep. Yeah, and like some of the stuff, you know, I print that one thing, but I have a printer and I print it. It's a PDF from my Oily Family Google Drive. Like I could just send them that in an email, you know, and they could have it that way. I've done that actually. If I forgot it or thought about it later, or they ask a specific question, I can send, you can send a PDF in an email to obviously save on printing and costs and those kind of things. But you can definitely find a lot of resources out there for free.
I was just going to add something. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna add too, like, so for those that are in our team, so we do have our Vital 180, and the Vital 180 actually does have like textable graphics for each and every kit. So it has for the Ninja, it has the Thieves, it has the oils and stuff too. So even with that, where I know Valerie had mentioned giving people something to do with each oil, in that Vital 180 textables, it has like how to use the oil, and then some of the texts even will challenge them, like put a drop in your glass of water or do a certain thing. So I know for me, as soon as I start a member, day one, they start getting those texts. Like I let them know like, hey, you're gonna get a text from me every single day. And it's going to just give you some tips on how to use your oils. So even if they haven't received them, I actually just had a lady, she got her kit at the end of March and just received her kit today, but she's already had, you know, a couple weeks of text from me knowing what to do. So soon as she got her kit, she's like, well, I'm diffusing peace and calming, and I just added some lemon to my water, and I want to see what lavender is going to do tonight. And like, so she already was set up where she knew what she was going to do. And to Valerie's point, that didn't cost me anything, right? I can just easily text that to the person. That's it.
So Dana, do you use Project Broadcast for the text, or how do you do that?
I do not. I don't know, at the rate that I sign people up, I don't feel like it's overwhelming for me to just do it on my own. I do have on my phone where I can schedule text messages. So I will go in, like I probably have her text messages scheduled for the rest of the month. But I just manually do it. But usually at a time, I only have maybe 3 people I'm doing at the same time.
That's an awesome idea, actually. I have the, on my Android phone, I have Message Plus, so I can schedule, and I didn't even think about that. That's awesome. I've done it with other people, but I'm going to borrow that.
I was just going to mention something, Valerie, you were talking about when you got started, you weren't thinking of doing the business, and neither was I. So, but I got thinking about, has anyone here ever held a home party for other products you know, way back in the day, it was like Tupperware, but baskets, Southern Living, like all these things, party light, candles, whatever. And I used to do those quite a bit until I learned about Young Living, and then I wanted my money going toward Young Living, but I saw people spend $1,000 on, not individually, but a whole party. Like the parties I would have, there was to be $1,000 a product, right? And the person would always ask, they'd ask during the inviting process, well, here's some extra catalogs for you to hand out to other people. Or they would always ask too if I was interested in the business or if I wanted to know more. They would just say something. It was just part of the culture. And I'm not sure why, you know, probably because I wasn't asked that, you know, but we could easily adopt that culture, you know.
That's why that's why I say this when I start, because that's how it was for me. Like, no one asked me, do you want to build a business? They said, we're having this party. Would you like to have a party? And I thought, yeah, my sister's kind of weird and into this oil stuff, I think. And my mom is kind of, so they're probably going to want to buy some stuff. And you guys seem cool. So I booked my party before I even bought my kit. Like, I didn't even have money for my kit that night. But Panaway was placed on my body. I knew I had to have it. And someone asked me, did I want to have a party just like this one where we had a bunch of food and played with oils? And I said, yes. I didn't know the comp plan. I didn't know I was going to make money. I didn't even know what to do. I just had a party and I invited my best friend at church, my best friend at work, all my family members. And when I had 5 people sign up, like my upline had to say, okay, you need to put this person here and do this and do this. And your cousin that just handed you money, you're going to buy her kit on this person's account so that you can actually get commission. Like, I didn't know how to do any of that. I didn't understand any of it. I just said yes to a party because somebody asked me.
Yeah, I think we have to, just like making Essential Rewards normal, that like this is what we do. We order every single month. It's not weird. You know, we transferred our buying over to Young Living. And so at classes, I generally put like a little piece of paper in their lap board or with their thing if I do something fancy like that. But I put, you know, because how many times are we sitting there and we're like, you know what, this would work. This would be good for so-and-so. Like, you know, I think this person needs this. Like when I left the class, my first class I went to, I immediately called my mom because I was like, my mom needs this stuff. And she told me, Valerie, what did you get into? She thought it was, you know, that kind of thing. Like, you know, there are bad experiences across the board, like with multi-level marketing or direct sales and stuff like that. Like when people have to buy tens of thousands of dollars in inventory and hold on to it and all that stuff. Like, so we have a little bit of an uphill battle, but we can do it. You know, we can make it normal. And it's not, you just like that, like, here's your link. Somebody's going to ask you, this is going to change your life. So you're going to want to be ready because you're going to think like, didn't you already think like, who do you know that needs stress away? The world. Can we pour it on the world? Is that, we can do that. Like thieves and then stress away. And then, anyway, so, you know, like somebody needs peace and calming, or, you know, you think about those things and then you be ready with their link, you know, like send them their link first, show them how to make their link second, you know, at the same time, and then say, it's not every single person is going to, Tashina knows this, but we were just talking about this last week on our boost call. Not every single person is going to be a builder and is going to enroll people, but they're going to be users, and that's okay. That's perfect. That's what we need. You know, only, you know, what, 10% of our team is going to be builders. And that may mean that they just sign up 1 or 2 people. That's okay. This is all fine. You know, nobody is like you or me, you know, like nobody is the same, obviously. So this is going to be all different. And as long as we can help people to understand that, I mean, we know that by having this call, right? We're like, yeah, that doesn't work for me. Like, that's not my personality or whatever. And then you find how it is, but just making it normal, like that, you know, you're going to want to share these with people.
Valerie, would you go so far with that link to say to them that if their friend is interested, that just like you referred that person, that their friend would be referred to their friend, as opposed to being out there. Like if they went online,
Yeah.
they're going to just be assigned to someone they don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like, cause you know, you came to me because you trust me. Like your friend trusts you, so give them your link, because we don't ever want anybody to go on Amazon, you know, and we don't want people, we don't want our person to end up in the orphan pool and get assigned to somebody. So yeah, share that with them.
So Tashina, I have a question. Was your Panaway experience at a party you went to and then you booked a party, or you booked a party?
Yes. So I went to a party with the intention of not buying oils, because oils didn't work that I bought from Amazon. But it was a friend that I used to hang out with back in the day, and I'd been really sick. And one of my goals was to associate more. I marked maybe to the party that had a Facebook invitation, not knowing if I was going to have energy to go. I came home, I showed up, and they're like, "Oh, you made it," because I was like 30 minutes late, and I had only marked a maybe. And they were talking about way too much stuff anyways, but by the time they put the oils on me, Panaway was placed on my body, and I went from oils don't work to these are different and the world needs to know. And I booked a party, and I did not even have my money for my kit.
So you bought nothing at that party?
I bought nothing at that party, but I took all the papers, and my party was booked for 30 days later. And my intention was to get it on payday. So this was like the 25th, and payday was going to be the 31st. And my party was 30 days later.
It's a cool story. Panaway was my oil too.
Any last comments? We got about 5 minutes.
I was just gonna say too, I don't do a lot of booklets or papers or handouts. It's not my personality, it's not my style, it's just not what I do. But I do the pocket reference, and I love that it introduces the idea of autonomy from the get-go, which is something in our culture that is lost. You know, that everyone is looking for someone else to give permission or give an answer or something like that. And giving the pocket reference really introduces an autonomous experience from the beginning. Like, here is this. You can find the information. When you ask me your question, either I learned it myself because I've been doing this a tad bit longer than you, or I'm going to look in this book. And like Valerie said, when you ask me, I'm going to be like, did you look in this section or whatever? And then go from there. And that really is all I invest in a new person until I see like which way they're going to go. I do send a copy of the IDS. The income disclosure statement goes with that to introduce the idea that you can make as much money as you want to here. Here you go. And then I just like go from there. You are not responsible for providing everything to everyone. And you are also not necessarily responsible for providing it to them in their preferred means. So figure out what works for you. If it works for you to do the pocket reference, or if it works for you to do the app, or if it works for you to do, a book, what works for you is good. And then let them know there are other things. Hey, I gave you this, but if you're a person who uses this better, it's okay to invest in yourself and pay $5 or $10 or whatever for this, for that. Here's Life Science Publishing. This is the website that we order resources from. If you want this and that and whatever, because listen, I don't DIY anything. I'm not cute. I don't make cute things. I'm not about any of that stuff. And I have so many people on my team who do, and they're amazing at it. They have a gift for it. It's beautiful. And I go to their stuff and I'm like, can I bring other people who like to do this? Because I will just never, that's how I am in my life. And I was laughing so hard at the raindrop from the book story because I was talking to a builder and we were saying la la la, and she's like, yeah, well, didn't you read that in your desk reference, Stacey? And I'm like, okay, I own a desk reference. I've never opened it. And she's like, what? And she like fell out of her chair. She's like, I have read it cover to cover. What is wrong with you? I learned how to do a raindrop from that. And I learned how to do this. And how did you not know? And I'm going, I never opened it. I don't care. I do what I want. And we need all these people though, because these green people teach us these things to shade up. I'm serious. This is a true story. And this just happened a couple months ago, really. And that my team doesn't look at me the same sense. But you know what? We need all the colors, and people, they literally do. Like all the greens catch on to each other, and they go with each other, and everybody else goes to them to ask the questions. And
no, I'm laughing because see, my green, I only have negative green. I don't have any. If it doesn't have a search bar, I will not use it. I'm like, if my iTovi doesn't work and I can't find it via a search bar, then I go to the desk reference. That's the only way I go to the desk reference.
And I very rarely scan myself. I own a scanner, and everybody's always like, oh, what did you scan for? I'm like, I don't scan myself. I use whatever I decide to use, okay? And they're like, but did you look it up? No, I didn't. I just chose. But that's me. That doesn't have to be you. I think it's great to choose what one thing works for you, and then to just share the options and allow other people to take some personal responsibility for what works for them and what's good for them, and that's good. And that's just me.
So do you follow up in person mostly, Stacey, and not mailings or anything like that?
Depends. If they're local, yes, I do a lot in person. I am an in-person person, and I'm connected a lot like that. So yes, in person a lot. But if I enrolled them, from out of state and stuff, I send them a pocket reference, and then we do a lot in whatever method of communication they prefer, whether that's Facebook Messenger, calls or texts, or something like that.
Okay.
I follow up with however they contacted me, usually.
Dana, were you trying to add something? Okay, so we did start 9 minutes late. There's a couple of just housekeeping things. So number one, just wanted to poll everyone. Is everyone enjoying the calls? Do they want to continue them? Because we just have 1 week left. And so just asking, is everyone enjoying them? Do they want to continue them? Yes or no? And then if so, then throw out ideas for the next 8 weeks of topics for those of you that do believe it's been helpful for them. I mean, we can, whatever we need, right? So this is your basis. Now some people might need details about social media because that's the only way we're growing. Just thinking of topics for next week. And then there has also been a request to move this up 30 minutes to 8 o'clock. So the reason it was at 8:30 was because I had to physically do a certain, my volunteer work. I ended it at 7:30. Sometimes I wouldn't get home till 8. I obviously don't have to do that right now. So I can definitely honor moving it up to 8 o'clock instead of 8:30. So I just want to know if anyone had an issue with that.
My only issue is with that is I finally put it in my calendar.
Now you have to change your calendar.
Yeah, but I'm cool. I'm good at hanging on in everybody's skirt tails and learning as I go.
Okay.
I do think the social media ideas would be great current topic.
Okay. So we'll move it to 8 o'clock. There were some people that wanted it at 7:30, and I kind of forced it to be at 8:30. So for the people that wanted it at 7:30, 8 will be a happy medium. And then, you know, when we go back to actually living in the real world, if there ever is a chance that I don't get here right at 8, then somebody else can just start the recording button in my place.
Yeah, I have a call of calls that I just set up, recurring calls for 7:30, ends at 8:15, but I can see if I can move that up to like 7:15. I try to keep it 45 minutes, so.
Okay. Thank you.
bill
I
work.
appreciate it. We actually, so our larger team actually has another call at 9 as well. So that was one of the reasons why it was requested. So we want to honor everybody that makes the request and make sure it's the best for at least the majority of the people. All right, with that, we will close the call. And next week, we are going to talk about the importance of events. So we'll obviously, you know, go to the spin that we have right now and include a little bit of information on online events and how those are working. All right, thank you, everyone. Have an amazing evening. Bye.